And we're live. Welcome to Unleashed. I know we are missing our third, Malcolm the Spy Nance. For whatever the reason may be, he's having, again, some technical difficulties. Please stand by for Malcolm. Let's see. Something's going on with the new iOS update. The app just kicks me out as soon as I accept your invite. Start and I'll come on as a watcher and you can invite me in. Well, that's what I just did. And I will now try one more time to do it. So that way you guys can get the full effect of exactly what's going on here. There's so much to talk about. Lev, glad to have you.
Hey, how are you,
So
Michael?
much to talk about.
That's crazy.
And I want to be
love-
I just want to begin by thanking everybody for continuing to smash those hearts. We appreciate it. I know Malcolm, when he finally gets on, will tell you he appreciates it. And take that little square with the up arrow. More importantly, at the top left, you will always see that chyron, the one that turns around and has both Lev and mine and Malcolm's. Please cross-pollinate. It works. It's important. Let's keep growing the community. Lev.
Yeah, no, it's been. Oh, there's Malcolm right there. You see him? Hit on his chyron, maybe. It's been one crazy week. Every week we talk about that, but this week in general, I literally had to do a Wednesday update, not a Friday update, but I did a Wednesday update yesterday because of all the stuff that was happening on behind the scenes. I mean, stuff that's not even being reported on. I mean, where do you want to begin? Stuff that they're talking about in the news, stuff that they're not talking about in the news.
I think the first thing maybe we should
there's just
talk
so
about, right?
much going on. I mean, I'll let you pick.
Let's start with the international piracy of the theft of the Venezuelan oil tanker, with the allegations that they're doing this in order to stop drugs. I listened to Caroline's press conference today. I don't know sometimes if I want to laugh, if I want to cry, if I want to scream at the television. I really, truly don't know what to do, because truth be told, none of it makes any sense at all. There's no honesty. There's no accuracy. They just took the oil.
I mean, that's part of what they're planning on doing with the whole country. Just think about that. That's a great just about what you just said, Michael. They just went and took the oil. They, piracy, whatever you want to call it. I mean, that is what they're planning on doing to the whole country. I mean, I've been reporting on it already for months, and for the past several weeks, especially. I was involved in the beginning of that whole operation, as you could call it. I even know the donors that are involved and the corporations and the people that are getting the contracts and the ones that are dealing in the back channel conversations right now. I just can't go into some of them names yet, but we will as soon as I confirm some of the stuff. But it's all about the oil. It's not about stopping drugs. Venezuela, we've spoken about it plenty of times, is not the source of bringing in here opioids or what's the other one that he keeps saying? Fentanyl. Fentanyl. He keeps saying fentanyl. And again, there's a lot of countries we have drug problems with. China is one of them that sends fentanyl over here, but we're not out there shooting down other places. Hey, Malcolm, what's up, brother?
Just so you all know, our spy has now figured out this incredibly difficult new iOS app. By the way, I did that iOS app on my phone. I'm hating it, man. I'm truly hating it. Everything is different. They didn't just make some little mild modifications here. They went full out. You got to kind of really figure out everything all brand new now.
I'm on the laptop. Like I remember you saying last week, laptop was great. I was like, jump on the laptop. Not going to use the phone anymore for this.
How's the laptop? You like it?
Much better.
You know what? I see more comments. I see the live chat.
Yeah,
better.
A lot better, right? I gotta switch over. I gotta redo my whole thing. I'm still on the phone here. I'm still on the phone. I got that. Yeah.
Of course you are. Okay. So Malcolm, we're just talking about this whole nonsense with the international piracy of the Venezuelan oil, right? I mean, because that's really what it is. Here he is making fun of Somalians, that they're only good for hijacking ships. And 24 hours later, we're there dropping our Marines literally from, helicopters and seizing a vessel in international water that has nothing to do with drugs. It's an oil tanker.
Yeah. In all fairness, they're sort of half right on this one. I'll explain why. First off, the Navy dropped the Coast Guard's maritime response teams. These are the guys who go out and board drug boats, search, holds, and then bring them in all the time, every day for years. They've been doing this. Now that mission's been taken away, and they're just killing these guys in boats. I found it funny that they decided to use the Coast Guard. And by the way, did you notice it was the Attorney General who made the official statement after the president made it, right?
Yeah.
And
Damn.
they just went out of their way to do this legally. That ship was a sanctions buster and was sanctioned in 2022. It was part of the Iranian, Russian, Venezuelan shadow fleet. And that means that this ship was moving, like, for example, it and its sister ship would go to Cuba, right? Would shuttle down there. They would turn off their automatic identification system, the AIS, and they would pretend to be another ship, including changing the flags, changing the names. And I'd hate to say it, the ocean's pretty big. I've sailed the seven seas, pretty much all of them, and it's really big. If you go out on the main shipping lanes, you're off the radar. Nobody literally will see you. And these ships were shooting down to Venezuela, filling up, bringing the crude up to Cuba for transshipment somewhere else. Right? Or they would go to Russia, or they would go to Iran.
Iran.
You know what I like the most? I like when they asked Trump, who's keeping the oil? And he didn't really have an answer. Right?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
curious whether or not he's keeping the oil. They're going to hold it for the country.
No.
He's going to say it's a gift to his library.
Right?
Trust me, they're going to keep the oil. They're going to keep the oil. They're not. This is all about the oil. They're trying to. This is has nothing but the oil. So they're going to keep it. And it's interesting to see that all of a sudden, like Malcolm says, the way they try to go do this one so by the book by having the Coast Guard go, do it, take it out properly. Yes, in reality, if we didn't have murderous Pete Hegseth, shooting other boats out of the sea and killing people, this would be something that we would say is a normal thing. This is something good. We want to stop the shadow fleets. But if you really want to concentrate on the shadow fleets, then why are you trying to do the Venezuela one right here? Russia's going nonstop with Iran and China and the Straits of Hormuz and all over there, where you just, you're just letting them do whatever they want. So this is part of the, basically, the regime change that they're planning on doing, not only in Venezuela and Ukraine, I mean, wherever you want to go into, but it's regime change.
Can we talk about Ukraine for a quick second? Because
Yeah.
good for the
absolutely.
EU. Good for the EU in turning around and taking a whole bunch of confiscated money from Russia and using it within which to buy armaments for Ukraine. You know what? When
Did they vote on that today?
Yeah, I think they gave him
They
300
passed
something
100 billion
million.
or something.
Yeah.
300 billion, I
Okay.
think.
When I sat,
I think that's the frozen
Trump,
money, right, Michael? I didn't see
Yes.
it. Yeah, I just got home. That's the Russian frozen asset. Yeah, okay,
It
go
is,
ahead.
yeah. When I listened to Trump turn around and say that America, right, there would be no world without America. Got to be honest with you. I think this is a perfect example that the world, especially Europe, is moving on. They're no longer trying to play, nice with Trump or the United States. They're doing what they need to do, knowing that if Putin is successful and if Putin ends up taking, for example, Ukraine, that he will never stop, that he is hell-bent on reforming the former Soviet Union, going into Poland, which of course creates a whole NATO nightmare for us. But more than that, then afterwards banging a left and taking the Baltics and keep moving, west and west and west. And let me tell you something, they're doing what they need to do. They're letting the Ukrainians fight for their sovereignty, but they're providing them with money, with assistance, with armaments, and so on. And I think Russia is going to end up regretting not taking let's just call it a watered down 28-point plan. I really do, because with some of the armaments that Ukraine is now going to be receiving from the alliance, they're going to send that shit right into fucking Moscow, right into Putin's backyard, the same way that Putin's knocking out Kiev every single day. It just takes one good solid strike to destroy all of Moscow.
I mean, look, absolutely. I've been saying it all along. The best thing that could happen, me and Malcolm talk about, even when we do our especially Ukraine spaces, the best thing that could happen to Ukraine and to Europe is if Trump just butts out and walks away. As crazy as it sounds, as we would think that yes, but we got to remember this is not 4 years ago. This is not 2022. This is not the same Ukraine. That's not the same Europe. Not the same world. And now Ukraine is one of the biggest, if not the biggest army in Eastern Europe right now. They got the best capability of building the drones, which is a new type of a warfare, like Malcolm talks about. This drone warfare is a lot, cheaper and easier and strategically right now. Moscow is not taking any parts of Ukraine. They're at a standstill. That's where the real war is happening. The things you hear us report on, the things that the media gives you blimps are the terroristic acts that Moscow and the Russians do to keep it in the news by hitting, children's hospitals, by hitting schools, by hitting facilities and energy structures to be able, so people could freeze and psychological warfare. But in the real war, you're right. Ukraine's standing strong, and if they get the help and if they get the funding and some tools and actual weapons behind them, and the U.S. butts out and they could go at Russia, Russia's going to be in a lot of trouble. Their economy is at shit. And that's another thing that's very important right now that's playing out simultaneously that has to do with oil, Venezuela, these tankers and all of this that, sometimes a lot of people can't connect the dots. And that's why it's important for you people to understand that this is all part of the power game that Russia, Trump, and they're all playing to do. And that's why they need to take over Ukraine quicker. And the longer Ukraine withstands, the longer it messes up all of their plans. So, I agree with you on that, Michael, that I think Russia is going to regret it. Their economy is at shit. And unless Trump right now gives them that not olive branch, but basically, takes them out of the quicksand, which he's trying to do by putting them onto, some sort of a national financial or commercial where they could, start again getting their economy back in order by intertwining our oligarchs with their oligarchs, having them start investing money in the United States, all of that. It's going to be interesting to see what transpires right now. But the most important thing that right now is hurting Trump that I reported on a couple of days ago, that is the Susie, Wiles and Stephen Miller and Russell Vought had a meeting. Nobody's talking about it, and they really sat down and evaluated, because it's one thing that Trump goes out there, talks about polls, this, that. They went and took a look, and they really understood that he's way below water. They understood this is going to be a massacre come, these are people that understand what's going on.
November for the midterms, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So they put together a game plan where, Trump, they're going to put Trump on the road right now, just like this is 2028. Like what you saw in Pennsylvania was just the beginning. He is going to go rally in every of these, battleground states, putting pressure. And they, it's like their Hail Mary. They think that he needs to get the cult back in order because of the major disruption that's happening. And I know we see what Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing, but behind the scenes, there's some key words that Marjorie Taylor Greene is using, and that's really ripping apart that I've been hearing inside the MAGA forces. She's basically, what Trump did to her, see, they use these two words. Trump called her a traitor. Out of all the things that he could have said and all of those things, that was
Worst word possible.
worst part, because in their world, that's what caused. That's why if you look at her, she's scared. That's what put the pressure on her family. A traitor was the worst thing you could have said. She came back to him, and then the worst thing she could have done by saying he's not America first. That he, with all his foreign assets and put that. And right now there's a rift, especially with Tucker Carlson and with Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens and all of this craziness going on behind. They don't even report what goes on with Charlie Kirk and the way most of MAGA is now, saying that that's one of the biggest conspiracies out there and stuff like that. So there's
but they're not even talking about Charlie Kirk.
Nobody's
good, because you two bitches now owe me $1. Thank you for acknowledging it.
This is 7 months afterwards. 7 months afterwards.
Not 7 months. And by the way, I told you that it's going to take a little time. Did I or did I not say that eventually that Charlie Kirk, that whole TPU, it's all going to go away because...
But it didn't go away.
It is away.
No, it's away. No, Michael, it's away on CNN is not talking about it.
It's away everywhere.
Take a look at their numbers. Are you crazy?
Now you got Erica Kirk flirting with J.D. Vance and with Elon Musk.
Listen. That's the news they're reporting.
Clear about something else here. Let me be crystal clear. They need, Susie Wiles is not wrong. They're not wrong when they say they need to put him out onto the stump, simply because the more he spends time in D.C., the more he's screwing things up. And you know what? The nice thing for us Democrats is that the more he goes out there, the more there is to talk about. And that's exactly why you saw what happened yesterday in Miami. After 30 years, a Democrat, for the first time, 30 years, a Democrat became mayor in Miami. That's now Trump's. I mean, remember, Florida is now Trump's backyard. Second to Palm Beach, it's Miami, which is where he has the Doral. He has the Trump Ocean, the Trump, all the different Trump buildings that are there in the Sunny Isles area. Miami is like his second home. And to lose to a Democrat who everybody said, oh, she has no chance. Nobody wanted to run for the seat. She comes in and she shellacked the fucking guy. Why? Affordability. Why? Honesty. Why? The tariffs. Why? ICE. Why? All of the nonsense that we talk about every single Thursday, and what we do day after day here with our Substack posts and keeping you all properly informed. This is making the difference, not the fucking jerk off Ken Martin or a Chuck shithead Schumer or Hakeem, blow it out your ass, Jeffrey. No. It's independent journalists that are making the move. I'm telling you, it's the more people that end up joining. We get 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people sometimes on here. That has nothing to do with how many people end up watching this by the end of the night.
But by the way, we have some breaking news. The DOJ has failed to indict Letitia James for the second time.
No, that would be third time.
No, second. The first time they indicted, it got thrown out. But two times.
Right.
This is the second time a grand jury can't indict a ham sandwich. Just think about how bad that is. Just
Did they impanel a second grand jury last week right after she was in?
I don't think it's second. I think it's third, buddy.
Third. Oh,
really?
wow.
It's the third grand jury.
It's saying right now.
The first one they got, the second one said no. This is the third one.
To say no, yeah. Two said no, one said yes. And
then the one that they said yes on was dismissed.
Correct. Right? The first one they said yes, it was dismissed. The judge dismissed it because of
Lindsay Halligan.
Lindsay Halligan, correct.
Authorized.
Lawyers can't get away with this.
Can you imagine two grand juries refuse to indict? That is
That tells you how bad the
And,
case is.
and just think about how the courts are all over the place. And today the courts are pressing to release. They said release Abreu Garcia. He's supposed to be Kilmar. The court says release him right now. Levitt came on there and saying, "Are you kidding me? This is a known sex trafficker. We're not gonna we're gonna appeal this." Just think about to what degree they're going to destroy people's lives. I'll tell you, when I don't know whenever you want to shift to, but the hearing that we had about with Kristi Noem, and watching that whole thing play out, and then having her, and then having her turn around and say, "You know what? I have some other previous appointments, engagements. I'm gonna have to, cut this short. I'm gonna have to go." I mean, you can't make this shit up.
All right, so let's do what Lev just asked. Let's do what Lev just asked. Let's
that
shift.
Was great comedy.
Yeah, to the hearing where they asked Kristi Noem, and I thought that the guy who brought in the veteran that was deported to Korea, where he hasn't been since he was 7 years old, who served in our military, was shot twice, received the Purple Heart, is a Purple Heart recipient twice over, was deported by Kristi Noem and her team, and deported to, I believe it was Vietnam or Korea. To Korea, where he hasn't been since the age of 7.
Mm-hmm.
And he wanted her to apologize.
My favorite
this bitch couldn't even do that.
But my favorite part of that hearing, which was, first off, you got her in perjury, right? Lying straight to your face.
Straight out.
He goes, "Have you deported any service members or U.S. citizens?" She goes, "No, definitively, we have not deported any U.S. veterans or U.S. service members." Then he turns and he goes, "I have here on Zoom joining us from South Korea." And he spells out this guy's history, had been in combat, had post-traumatic stress disorder issues, and then he makes her, she did it twice, made her thank that guy for his service.
Yes, he did that twice.
And then made her review his package. And then she goes, "Well, I can't disobey the laws." Then he goes, "But you have broad powers. You could stay this. You could bring it back. You could do this and that." Boxed her in. First off, by the time he got through with the second guy, right, who was a U.S. citizen that was deported, and she had to thank him for his service, that's when she pulled the old Trump, "I will just insult you from here on out," Gish Gallo, right? Just coming in and shouting. And then, of course, suddenly she realized she had to have her, her roots dyed or something. She had to go to the salon and call it the national security, or the what was supposed to be the FEMA FEMA council conference. And the congressman goes, "Oh no, that's been canceled."
It really is. It truly is amazing.
So much.
But it's not just her. It's all of them lying. And, talk about, like I said, Caroline Machine Gun Lips Levitt sitting there and lying, lying to the entire press pool and telling him, "You're all the ones that are lying in order to disparage the president." And look at, and she called out, Caitlin Collins and CNN.
Yeah.
I mean, then you can't make this level of stupidity up when you now have even Howard Lutnick hosting with Trump the brand new, because I'm concerned about who's coming into the country, Trump Gold Visa card, and not Visa like MasterCard. I'm talking about like a visa to stay in the country. Or if you're really wealthy as a drug dealer, an oligarch, or a money launderer, for $5 million, not only do you get to stay for the year, but you don't have to pay taxes. I mean, that's just fucking brilliant.
Yeah, just give a present to the United States. I mean, and to think about it, this is just to show you where the mindset is at. For them, it's all about the money. It's not about the character of the individual. They want to, if somebody could afford $1 million, that means that they're good people. And like Michael said, majority of the people that can afford $1 million right now easily like that, yes, there's a lot that want to leave their country or that might want to come here, are people that probably are not the ones we want in our country.
What wasn't it originally 5 million?
No, that's the platinum Trump
There's
card.
different. But you know
So
what I
it's
can't get
I
over?
can't
$1
keep my Trump
million.
card
It's
straight.
$1
Yeah,
million for the Trump gold card. But if you're a corporation that needs somebody who's highly talented, gifted, unique, the corporation has to pay $2 million. If you are an individual that wants to stay here to do business for the year without having to pay taxes on the money that's earned here, then it's $5 million. I mean, I can't imagine Nutlick going and sitting around a table, all right? Because I know him for like 30 years. I can't imagine this schmuck and a half sitting around a table. All right, Lev, Malcolm, let's come up with something completely fucking idiotic. Let's come up and then lie and say that we're going to raise for the American people for the, I don't know, there's a tariff shelf. Now there's a Trump card shelf, billions and billions of dollars that we need to come up with something that is so utterly stupid. Let's turn around, seize all the cocaine from Colombia, all the pot that's coming from, say, Venezuela, and let's market it as the best cocaine, the best pot money can buy, and put the American bald eagle on it with a picture. We'll call it the Trump drug, right? Something like that. And we'll make billions and billions and billions of dollars. That's almost like what they're saying here. Because I can't imagine who the fuck has $5 million laying around to give to the United States so that you could come do business here and you don't have to pay taxes on.
Well, the
Sounds to
family
me like a
members of
money
this,
launderer.
the family members
listen,
of the Sinaloa cartel.
listen. Let me tell you. I mean, the one thing that gets me every day still, like I just can't get over it. I mean, this is a guy, like you just said, they're making billions of dollars in cryptocurrency. You got the other side already, Kushner with the masks off, doing deals in the Middle East, in Eastern Europe and Russia. Now he's back up Paramount with the Saudis buying up, trying to buy up Sia. They got all of this billions and billions, and you sit there and think about it, and then I put on, Fox just to see what's going on. And then this commercial goes on Donald Trump and his watches. Hey,
On Fox News.
you got Donald Trump. This is the phrase. He's like, you got to get your watch. We got the red edition. It's the new one. It's the best watch out there. It's a Trump watch. I can't believe that they played this shit on there, and they're literally this the Trump watch. It's like it's insane. Like it's like
Followed then by
remind.
the commercial for the Trump guitar. I mean,
I did.
you
I
really
that's it.
can't make this stuff up. I mean, it is actually quite funny. If this was a Saturday Night Live or a South Park skit, I would turn around and I'd say, this is one of the funniest shit. I don't even know how they think this stuff up. But then again, I mean, you turn around, you talk about the Richard Mille, right, watches. You talk about the Patek Philippe's, where one just sold the other day at auction for like $20 million, right? It's got like 20 different movements inside. It took 10 years to build. Here, you got one that's manufactured in China, right? It's not manufactured in the United States. They slap it, they make it gold, they put it as gold plated, right? Or it's aluminum, right? And then they slap it on. It's anywhere from $100 to $100,000 for a gold. I can't imagine going into, somewhere and seeing, somebody sit there and bragging, hey, you want to see my new gold Trump watch? No. How about no?
Man, I'll tell you, this is why we are having this male loneliness epidemic. I mean, who wants to have, some idiot who will it's essentially a wristwatch version of the of the Cybertruck. right? It
Right.
tells you everything you need to know about that person. One, he's stupid. Two, he's stupid with money, right? And it's just utterly amazing. But this president is for sale. And all of this money, I would be surprised if there's some future investigation, if not $1 came to the U.S. Treasury and was in fact going to his private personal campaign fund.
I
Right?
don't see the debt going down. I see it going up every day. I don't know where. I don't see. The inflation is up. The debt's going up. Money's like. I don't know where all of these trillions of dollars are going, Malcolm. So yeah, you know.
It's going on the tariff shelf. I hope that only one thing, that thing is anchored pretty well into the wall, because I don't even know what $1 trillion would actually weigh, and having it attached to, I don't even understand the nonsense that comes in. And you know what? Nobody turns around and asks him that question. If I was there asking a question, Mr. President, it's phenomenal. Congratulations on the 27, 29, 22 trillion. Not 100% sure I know exactly how much, but can you just tell us where the money is? I just would like to know. Do we have it in cash? Is it in poker chips? Is it, where is this money, and how can we verify that all the money is going where it's supposed to go? Because I want to remind every single one of the folks that are with us right now, when the Trump administration, the first administration, was doling out PPP money to companies, when they were doling out that money, are you aware that there's $1 trillion of PPP money that's still missing? Nobody knows where the hell it is. Nobody knows what happened to it. Nobody can account for it. Forgetting about the other $2 trillion that went to people's bank accounts to pay for, keeping their businesses open, despite the fact at least 50% of it is fraudulent. 2 out of the $3 trillion. All right, with 1 trillion still missing, that even the administration can't figure out.
Yeah. Somebody made a funny comment. They said Germany stores all their gold in the United States.
Yeah.
They better come and do an audit before it ends up in Trump's bathroom.
You're talking about, but just think about the funny part. I don't know if you remember when, like 6 months ago, when he just came into power, they had this whole thing that they were going to go to and take a look at Fort Knox. That they're going to go with this whole picture. And then they never went.
No,
they never went to show.
No.
No, I'm saying to you, I didn't say they there, but I'm saying to you, there, Trump was saying it was this whole big MAGA thing that they were going to go expose. It was going to be like that thing that Geraldo Rivera, remember Al Capone safe or whatever.
I think Lutnick and his wife went.
Lutnick and his wife went. Oh, okay. And did they secure it? It was all good?
No, they were just doing selfies there, and it was embarrassing. I think they spent like 2 minutes there and then left.
Yeah,
but that's it. But no, everybody was like,
we're in a really ugly place right now, with more nonsense coming down the line every single day. I mean, yes, it is. It's embarrassing. We have, and I'll let you take us out, Malcolm. You as well, but. The entire world is laughing at America right now.
There.
And, when I've always said in the past, when you have a strong America, you have a strong world. When you have a weak America, you have a weak world. In Trump's eyes, that's not an accurate statement. Without him, without America, the world is weak. And that's just simply not true.
Yeah, well, let me make this final statement, because this week they released their national security strategy, which is usually a 500-page document. I mean, it's the size of War and Peace in legal form. And this week they released one that was 31 pages. And that includes the cover page, the inside page, and the table of contents, which means it was probably 25 pages at the most. And I read it. It's insane. It essentially says that if there's a NATO Article 5 situation, Europe is on its own. The United States will not provide any ammunition or fighting in support of these things. It leans the United States completely into what Alexander Dugin, Putin's crazy philosopher, said, that Russia will have control of Europe, and the United States will have control of the Western Hemisphere, and China will have control of Asia, creating a multipolar world and ending, in essence, the special relationship with Britain, Europe, as the transatlantic alliance as it's existed. And it really appears to be the first step of getting out of NATO. Finally, it openly advocates for white supremacy in European countries, saying the United States will be working with opposition groups like Alternative for Deutschland in Germany, literally saying in a U.S. camp strategy document that we will start interfering with our NATO allies' internal politics. And if this isn't a sign for the Europeans to, flip the bird and stop doing appeasement of Trump, right? You can't bring him to Buckingham Palace and give him all these extra special things. He will stick the knife deeper in your back. So we can discuss that next week, but we might be at war next week. So,
and that's not, and that's not the only thing he did, Malcolm. I mean, right after this, literally, this came out a few days right after. People are just talking about it now, but this story broke, and I was part of the group that broke it. Literally 2 days after Kushner left the Kremlin meeting with Putin. The other thing that happened that nobody talks about is that Trump lifted the sanction right after that on Lukoil.
Right.
So Lukoil, which is another, that he put sanctions on. So these are some of the things that are going on behind the scenes. Look, folks, we are seeing a lot of crazy stuff happen day by day, week by week. Feels like Groundhog Day. We wake up to the same craziness. The one thing I can tell you is, and very important, that right now Donald Trump is on his heels. MAGA is in full disarray. The economy is not A+++. The economy, as bad as it seemed, and as bad as we're going through, and as bad as we're going to have to suffer for it. But the fact that Donald Trump right now is making comments like that right before the holidays, that the children don't need $3 again, they don't need all these, pencils or all these things, while being, himself making all of these money, his kids making all of this money, his family making all of this money all over the place. It is being heard, is being seen. The Epstein files, folks, it has not gone away. The 19th, next week, Friday, D-Day, we are going to start. They're going to have to come up with it. Even though what I'm hearing is that they might not, they'll scrub it, they'll this, they'll that, but just understand it's not going away. We're going to keep, it's already a bipartisan issue. The fact that they're killing people in the middle of this Atlantic, now Pacific, Atlantic, it's not going away. It's now a bipartisan issue. Pete Hegseth and the stooges out there basically are all in. This is a poker game where these people are all in. ICE, people are done. They're seeing it. What happened today, watching, American soldiers with Purple Hearts being deported, watching a father that gave up 3 of his own kids to be Marines here, being beaten up and thrown out of there, and not even having the sympathy, forget about the right of rule, but the sympathy of saying, you know what, I'm going to take a look at it. That's a mistake. We should not have that. You see none of that. Instead, you see doubling down, tripling down, moving it forward. And the scariest part of what really is happening, what I want all of it, and that's why we need to keep the focus on, is what is really taking place. And you're seeing the real masterminds come out, is like the Jared Kushners of the world, which we've been warning you about for the past 10 months, since the day I came here on Substack. He's been behind the scenes and everything that's been going on, and now he's behind the scenes with the Saudis. Again, it's the same characters, the Kushner, the Saudis, these wealth funds. You're going to see connected next the oligarchy from the Russian wealth funds, funds, which will be Kirill Dmitriev coming in to start buying up some of these, like these big CNN, these companies, and you're watching Trump playing out in front of your eyes. So it's extremely important now more than ever. We need your help. We need your support. We need you to do a few things. First of all, hit that, like Michael said up there, that gray button there, and cross-pollinate. Make sure you subscribe to each and every one of us. That is for free, folks. It costs you zero money. It costs a second to hit the button. That will keep you informed, and that will keep you in the know of what's going on, so you could become part of this movement, part of this resistance, so you could go out there and do the least possible thing and spread the message. Hit the like button, hit the heart button, comment on the thing. These are all algorithm things that allow our platforms to grow, our voices to grow, and our message to grow. And then for those of you that can become paid subscribers, you're our backbone. You're what makes it happen. That's why God bless you. And that's why we do special stuff by doing these lives where we bring you up, do Q&As and all kinds of stuff, trying to be able to give you back a little bit, because at the end of the day, we're all in this fight to be able to save our democracy. And I know I haven't even got a chance to speak to Michael or Malcolm back, because we're all doing a lot of things to save our democracy. But for the past week, we put together a GoFundMe there, and I know some of the people up there have been putting it up there. And it's a GoFundMe to hire a major group. We talk about going out there and doing what we need to do. We need to organize it, and to be able to organize, to get the proper people behind it, the booker, the schmookers, all of this stuff, to be able to, so we could go out there and do this type of stuff. That's what we set up the GoFundMe. It's out there for those of you can. We are doing incredible. We got around 60,000 raised already. We need to get to 150 to retain this group, and then so we could that's the first stage, and then they will put together then mechanism that will allow it to donate money and all this type of stuff. So that's the first step. The second thing we put together, it's a email. It's levpttp.proton.me. For all of you that want to also, besides contributing, you ask, how can we help? Well, this is how you can help, by going out to this email, sending us who you are, where you are. We have a bunch of volunteers right now that are working behind the scenes, putting together a powerful team on our behalf, on your behalf. So this way, when we come out there, we're ready to go. We have you guys coming out. So we have all of this putting in play. But what we need from you right now, especially right now during the holidays, because of this happening, is go out there, is spread the message. If you can, become paid subscribers. If you can, at least become subscribers. And most of all, be kind to each other and spread the word. We love you guys.
Thank you all. We will see everybody probably during the week, when Lev, Malcolm, and I will probably have to join again for another earlier week episode of Unleashed, because
So some breaking news.
assured,
Stupid shit
every
will happen.
single day that you wake up, you're waking up to chaos. And every
Oh, by the way,
single day,
I'm sorry, Michael. I forgot to say something on behalf of all three of us, because it is the holidays coming up, and on behalf of all three of us, we recommend the best present you could give somebody today is knowledge, is information. And all three of us have books out there, and our books are the most closest inside information that will give you. They're easy reads. Malcolm has 5 of them, so pick which one we'll give it to you. But between me and Michael, I know Michael has 2, but we have, if you go out there and it's a way to support us, first of all, but second of all, it gives you, we talk a lot, we spend time connecting the dots. If you read our books and then you come and listen, it all opens up to you. So it's also, you understand a lot. So it's just, with the holidays coming up, if you're thinking, what can I give that other gift? Do a package. One from Malcolm, one from me, and one from Michael. Somebody will thank you down the road, because these books will be history. I promise you that.
And if you want mine, which is the limited edition one, there's about 190 of them left. Just DM me and I'll tell you how to get it. Other than that, thank you all for joining us. We really do appreciate it. Merry Christmas, Hana Kwanzaa to everybody.
To everybody.
Enjoy, but most importantly, don't go out and buy too many dolls. Don't go buy too many. All you need is 2, right? All you need is 2.
And a pencil.
Yeah.
And one pencil. One pencil.
And one pencil, right. My friends, thank you, Malcolm, Lev. Enjoy. Happy holidays. And again,
Happy holidays, guys.
we will be coming to you again because not next Thursday, but even before, simply because the insanity, the stupidity, the nonsense, it's not stopping, and neither are we.
That's right.
All right.
Thank you, guys.